right, good morning. You'll probably have to accept recording on your computer. Let's see. Y'all, this is fun for me. This is where I love to be. But I want to ask you a quick question. From time to time, I'll share my screen. I have a few questions and I want you to participate. How many of you have been to an interview before or are getting ready for an interview? Anyone? Me, okay, Jason, thank you. Carter, Zoe, love it. Shania, me, D, okay, Vincent, great. Jayla, you had one last Friday, nice. David, Ariel, lovely, I love it. Great answer, I love it. So how many of you, basically, if you've been to an interview or planning to go to an interview, it looks like you've probably already done the hard work. You've done your resume. You've listed all your experiences. You've basically done a lot to get to that point. And then you get there and you're wondering, why am I here? Do I deserve to be here? Will they pick me? It's almost as if, okay, I know I did the work, I did the resume, I mean, I told them whatever they wanted to hear, but can I make it? And I say this, your interview is really almost like a dance. It's you showing up, and guess what? They picked you. Out of all the applicants, they picked you, which means there is a reason for you to be there. They want to know you. And so in this dance, you're kind of like, okay, do I put my left foot forward first? Do I put my right foot forward first? Do I hold the shoulder? Do I put my hand here? Or do we just hold here? What do we do? If you look into this guy's picture, you can see he's a little bit scared. And it is scary because it's like dancing for the first time, your first formal dance. Do I have what they want? Do I have what it takes? It's important, and responsibilities, Ariel. Got it. I'll be reading your chart. Yes, he's nervous, absolutely. Why is he nervous really? Anybody tell me if you've been nervous at an interview, why you were nervous? How do you even get an interview? Yeah, that could be nerve-wracking. Scared or nervous? Why would he be nervous? It's kind of like you've done all the paperwork. Do you know why he's nervous? Now it's time for you to show your face. Now it's time for you to say, this is me. It doesn't know if he's gonna, Jason, I love that. He doesn't know if he's gonna get hired or not. There's a lot of judgment. Anybody ever seen any of the judge shows or even a movie where, you get to the court and it's kind of like, all rise? What comes to your mind at that point in the movie or in the show when it's all rise? You may not know it, but there's always scared of the outcome. Yeah, it's like, okay, this judge is going to decide what happens with my fate. And sometimes like this judge is going to decide what happens with the character's fate, or, who wins and who loses. And that's what it's like when you're at that interview. It's kind of like, ooh, I'm finally with the judge, but not quite. Now, for a lot of people, it's kind of like, do I really have what it takes when they're asking that question? Do I qualify? Can I give them what they're asking? All of those could really culminate into a panic state and go, I'm not sure even why I'm here. Forgetting that you did the resume. You applied for the job. You have been called for the interview because they want to talk to you. All right. And at this point, you're asking, what do I do? Which is why we're here. And I'm going to stop sharing for a second. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. So you are there, you're at the dance, you're scared, and you're wondering what's going to happen to you. Because you know, well, do I have what they want? Can I offer what they want? And I want to tell you this. You've done the preparation, you've done your resume, you've read the job, you've researched the company, and you're still wondering what you have to offer. It's you. You have yourself to offer, and you're going, well, I'm only in high school, I don't have experience, and I've never worked in a place before. I don't even know how to get an interview, like some of you said, and I don't even know, I've never worked in an office before. That's true. You may not have those specific experiences that you know you don't have, but you have yourself to offer. And what do you have to offer that makes an interviewer want to talk to you? What are they looking for when you're talking to them? So I'm going to tell everybody right now to please, for my sake, put on just on camera yourself, like show me your face. Remember, we're at an interview, we're talking about an interview, and the first thing they want to see is your face. Can I see your face, please? Thank you, Kevin. I don't see your face quite yet, but I see your camera. They want to see you, whether that's in person or over the camera. They want to see what you look like. Who am I going to work with? So I'm looking at you, Jesse, and I see a bunch of students in there. And the first thing they want to know is, do you want to be here? How do you tell me you want to be here? I see Jaquela Adams. The computer did not allow us to show our face. We can't show our face. Okay, that's fine. So even if you can't show your face, I see some of you are working in groups. I want you to look at one another and show your face. And then smile like you want to be here. Like we're at an interview. I want you to smile to each other. Just look at each other. If you're in a class, if you're in a group, I want you to look at somebody, you know, turn to somebody and take a look at them. Yeah, I see. Thank you, Jesse, for rolling the camera. Guys, this is what an interviewer wants to see. The first thing they're seeing is your face, whether that's over the camera or in person. They want to see, do you want to be here? Your face is telling them, it may be saying I'm scared, but it's also telling them, I want to be here. So whenever I go to an interview, the first thing I do, I put on my smile. It's the number one thing you ought to wear at every interview, your smile. So everyone, please get up. Let's stand up for a second. Please get up. I know you're paying enough attention and you're wondering if you could sneak in your homework for some of you, but for a second, for 1 minute, give me this 1 minute. I want everyone to get up and smile. If someone beside you is not getting up, tap them and give them a smile. Like, I'm here, I showed up. So an interviewer wants to know, one, will you show up? And you're showing up with your face, with a smile, saying, I'm here, let's go, we've got this, let's dance. And I asked you earlier, what do you have to offer? You're saying, well, I've never worked here before. But do you know that you come into this interview, you've got a lot to offer? One of the things you've got to offer is, one, the way you show up. Two, your attitude. The employer knows they are hiring you, a person. They're not hiring a bot. They're not hiring AI. They're not hiring Siri or Alexa or Cortana or Katana or whatever the new name might be. They're hiring you, Jaleesa. They're hiring you, Sania. They're hiring you, Juliana. They're hiring you, Jacob, Smoothie, Elijah, Rita, Kiona, Amari, Jelia, Raymond. They are hiring you. And you, what you ought to offer is your attitude. Do I want to be there? Am I ready to take on whatever challenge they bring my way? Yes, I may not have a college education. Yes, I may not have worked in the office before, but I have a good attitude about what I do. Here's a case and example. I'm here. How many of you can tell that I want to be here? If you think I want to be here, just tap your head. I don't know if you have the reaction button on your computer. Do you have a reaction button in your computer? Yes, Jaquela, thank you. I see that. Yes, who else? Yes, Vincent, Sania, Jaya, Smoothie Cake, love it. The thumbs up. I love it. Who else? Type a reaction. Amari, I see you now. I see you one. Sakesi, Jennifer, I see you. Jonathan, great. I love it. How do you know that I want to be here? What makes you think I want to be here? My attitude, my smile, the way I carry myself. Oh, and Ruby, I see you. I see you in the chat. Angela, I see the smiley face. I see the chat. Thumbs up, Elijah. Got it. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Whipple class. I see that face. How do you know I want to be here? Because one, I have my smile, be it fake or real, but I can tell you this is real because I really enjoy being here. The other thing is my attitude. I can't tell you that in words, but I can show you in the way that I communicate with you, in my excitement, in the way I want to listen to you, in the way I'm looking at the chat, I'm looking at you. Those are the things that employers want to see. And that is one of the things. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Those are some of the things that your employer wants to see. It's not about you per se, even though they're hiring you. It's about what you can offer. And what do I mean by that? So when you're talking to an employer, they want to know, yes, you know how to read. Yes, you know how to use a computer. Yes, you know a little bit about the company. And yes, they're hiring you, not a bot, like I said, not Siri, not Alexa, not nothing else, just you. But at the same time, it's what you have to offer, what you're bringing to the table. You're bringing your attitude. You're bringing your diligence. You're bringing, I can show up at 8 o'clock if you tell me to show up at 8 o'clock. You're bringing, I will be here when you tell me to be here. I will not be on my phone chatting with my friends. I will be here. I will listen. I will learn. Those are some of the things that you have to offer. So when you sit at that table, you're like, oh, what are they going to say about me? I want you to remember, what do I have to offer? So like we said earlier, and I'll just go over the basics, you know how to sit. And if you're sitting right now, I want you to, for a second, take a second and just sit up straight. If you see someone sitting up straight, give me a thumbs up. What about me, Layla said. Thank you, I'm energetic, I love it, thank you. Positive, thumbs up, thank you, thank you. I look happy, yes, you should always look happy at an interview. Smile, look happy like you want to be there. Smiles and positive attitude. Smoothie Cake, don't cry. Thank you. Pretty, thank you, I love it. Personality. So is everybody sitting up? If you're sitting upright right now, give me a thumbs up if you're sitting upright right now. Thumbs up if you're sitting upright right now. Posture. Because your posture is telling the interviewer if you want to be there or not. Thank you, Whipple class. Thank you for that thumbs up. Yes, Zoe Pluck. Thank you, like that smiley face, yes. GTG, I don't know all my texts yet, so I don't know how to read that. Thumbs up, thank you, Mendoza, Nolua, yes. We'll talk about that later. Smoothie Cake, thank you for the thumbs up. Your posture says a lot about you. So when you're at an interview, your posture counts. I would always sit up straight. If you're not sitting up straight, the only time you shouldn't be sitting up straight is when you're leaning in to listen to what the interviewer is telling you and you're taking it all in. They want to know that you're paying attention. Of course, you know your handshake needs to be firm. And your smile, like we said from the beginning, tells them you want to be there. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Now you've done all of this and you're wondering, what next? I'm sitting in the right position. I'm leaning in. I'll tell you a story. About 15 years ago, I went to an interview. Maybe it was 13 years ago, I went to an interview. And I had taken a break from the workforce because I had my baby girl and I wanted to homeschool and do a lot of things with her. But now she was ready to go to school. And I decided, well, I want to go back to the workforce. And so I had a recruiter connect me with an employer. And, I was nervous because I had been out of the workforce for a few years. Will they pick me? Did I do my research well? Did I speak well? Did I smile? Did they like me? And I got home. I remember that day. The recruiter called me and he said, Ayisat, they loved that you took notes at the meeting. This is my notebook. I don't go to any meeting without a notebook, period. Now I'm going to share a secret with you. Promise not to tell. Promise? With my best friends here. I'm kind of grown. I forget things. Oh, thank you, Leah. I know, Lua. Thank you for the promise. Yeah. And I forget things. The only way I can remember things and make sure that I don't forget them is to write them down. If I write it down, I can always refer to it. And he said, Ayisat, they want to talk to you again. And I got the job. He said, because you paid attention, you took notes. They like that you paid attention and you took notes. Since then on, I never went to any other interview without a notebook. It's my secret weapon. Now, they think I'm paying attention, and I am. But when I go home, that notebook, the notes that I took, that's why I remember, ooh, that interviewer has a child who's about my daughter's age. When I write a thank you letter, I'm going to say hello to your daughter, who's going to be 13 soon. How do I remember that? Not from that long conversation. No, because I wrote it down. When I send a thank you letter and they told me about how many people in their company work abroad, I'm like, wow, that's great that you have X number of employees working abroad. If I were planning to travel in the summer, I may visit I'd love to visit your office in, Switzerland or whatever while I'm there. How do I remember that from that long conversation? Heck no. I took notes. Your notes will help you write your best thank you letters that would distinguish you for the job so that they think, wow, why don't we hire this person? They have an interest in us. Which brings me to my next point. Your employer is always thinking, and I'll share my screen briefly. Let's see. Some of you may have seen this before. How many of you know what this stands for? You're writing it down. Layla, good job. I love it. How many of you are writing this down? How many of you know what this means? If you know what this means, put it in the chat for me. WIIFM. And it's not we FM. Although you could pronounce it that for easy memorization. I remember when the we came out. Yes, the coolest thing that ever happened. How many of you know what that WIIFM stands for? Anybody? Anyone? No one? All right. I'll tell you what it means. Your employer is thinking, what's in it for me? Vincent said, I know. What's in it for me? That's right. They want to know what's in it for them? They like you. They know you like them. But they want to know, what can you offer them? What's in it for them if they hire you? What's in it for them? Your attitude, your punctuality, the way you show up, your interest in the company. That's what's in it for them. And they read that in how you behave at the interview. If you're sitting well, if you're paying attention, if you're taking notes, they're like, ooh, this girl, if she's taking notes at the interview, when I'm training her, she's going to be taking good notes and she'll learn fast. So my question for you, I'm going to give you 3 minutes to share your questions with me. What are some of the questions you have about interviewing that we haven't addressed? I'm looking at the chat. I still see some hands up raised. So I'm going to lower all hands because I feel like that's from another question. Someone, good job, 414-5697. How old is my daughter? That's a great question, but I don't know your name. So how could I answer a question? Someone I don't know. I'll tell you anyways. She's 13. Is interviewing a person hard? No, I actually interview a lot of people right now. If you see the sign behind me says hiring interns, yay, I get that. For an employer, yes, they don't like, so I'll tell you a secret, they don't want to interview everybody, but they want to interview the right candidates. So for me, when I interview, I would have 5 to 10 people that I interview, and based on their attitude or what they're doing, if they're paying attention, if they listen, what they say afterwards, that would help me know this person is interested in my company and I want them on my team. Let me see, more questions. How to help them, how to make them choose you over other people, your attitude, pay attention, write a thank you note. And before you go to the interview, research the company, know what they're about. Employers want to know that you understand the role they're hiring for, and they don't expect you to be an expert. They know they have to train you, because even if you know everything, you don't know their company and how they do things. Did you go to college? If so, which one? Yes, I did. I went to Baruch College. It's part of the City University of New York. I am so proud of my school, of my alma mater. It's in New York because I'm a New Yorker, and it's one of the best business schools. We have NYU 2 blocks down, which is a private school, and we compete with them neck and neck. Like pretty much, sometimes I think we excel better than they do, but they cost more, we cost less. So what type of questions do you ask your interviewer? Great question. Ask them about the role. Ask them what they're looking for in a candidate. Ask them how you stack up with other people they've interviewed. Feel free to ask them just about anything that relates to the job, the role, and shows that you're interested. Ask them, how you could, if you were, suppose they wanted somebody that had an Excel skill and you don't have Excel skill, you could ask them, if I can learn Excel over the summer, would I be, would I be a great match for this job? Or do you have, just things like that. Like ask them questions that lets them know that you're interested in them. Because remember, they're thinking, what's in it for me? So you always want to put on your hat, what's in it for them? Do you get paid the same week you apply and make it for a job? I don't think so. You have to at least work there. Most employers would at least hold off a week so that by the time you leave, they have a pay. And I'm sorry that I'm not getting to all the questions. Let me see if I can make this bigger so I can see all the questions. What happens if you're overqualified? There's no such thing as being overqualified. If you're overqualified, let them know that you're super interested in the job, that yes, I may have a college degree and you're looking for a high school student. However, I feel like I will be a fit for you because I understand A, B, C, the things you're looking for. And then let them know I am more diligent, I am this, I am that, I have what you need and I can offer you what you need. I apply for jobs that I'm overqualified for sometimes, and sometimes I apply for jobs I'm not even qualified for because I know I can learn and get them what they need. How do you deal with questions that you don't know? Just say, you know what? I don't know how to answer that right now. Can I get back to you later? And when you write them a thank you letter, you can reference, you asked me a question about this and I couldn't answer you earlier, but here's what I think about that. I think our time is almost up and I want to give you an opportunity to, let me share my screen real quick here.
We still have about 10 more minutes
I do?
presentation. Yeah, we end at 11.
Okay, so let me go through these questions real quick. I'm going to do that real quick. Let's see. Did you go to college? What sort of budget would I be working with? I don't quite understand that question, Leah Seaman from Carter High. What happens if you're overqualified? We answer that. What type of questions can we ask an interviewer? We answer that. How many years did you go to college? I went to college 4 years. Did you enjoy college? Yes, I did. I worked full-time. I went to school full-time. So I went to school at night and I always took a full load because I had to pay my own way through college. But however, I made time to enjoy college. I made time to make friends. I made time to have study groups that I could, and I engaged in extracurricular activities. So I was a club leader because I wanted to meet other people and, practice leading. How long have you worked in business? So 22 years. What are the skills and experiences you're looking for? Attitude, somebody who's willing to learn. What happens if if you have what they need and you can do the work, but you have a felony charge? That's a great question. So always disclose hey, most people don't care really. I want to say that with a grain of salt. They don't care if you have a record, if you can do the job. They care that you can do the job and that you will show up. Of course, be open and say, look, will this be used against me? Just be open and frank with it. And they may say yes, they may say no. Like I'm working with a school right now that they asked me if I would recruit interns who've had a record or who were even in prison. And I said, yes, if they show me that they can do the work and they are willing and eager to do the work and I don't have to babysit them. So for a lot of people, it doesn't matter. For some, it does. And so you just have to be upfront about it. The other alternative, be your own boss. I say that as a joke, but I mean it. That's my question about the way you dress. Dress for success, always overdress. Wear your suit, borrow one if you don't have one. Unless they tell you don't need a suit, just make sure your clothes are neat, they smell good, and they're high-end. What could we do to achieve good communication skills during an interview? Did you make any course change in college? Not really, because I made up my mind when I was 12 years old, I was going to be an accountant, and I followed it all the way through. Pivoted later, but that's a long story. What would you do if you don't get the job? Apply for another one. So don't feel like you apply for one job and they're going to pick you. I'm a business owner. I talk to several schools in order to hire one school, for one school to hire me. And I don't ever look at it as this is good or bad or ugly or whatever. I just go, oh, okay, not now, later. So don't feel like the first job you apply for is what you're going to get. Apply for 20, apply for 100. That gives you more chances of getting that one, right? And you get to pick afterwards. That's what happens when you over apply. What's a resume? Long story. We'll do that at a different time. Is there a waiting line for people? Talk to your teacher, and I'd love to come back and talk to you about resumes. Is there a waiting line for people who didn't get the job? There might be, but I'll say go on and apply for the next one. What are the key traits to a good employer to a good employer or worker, somebody who listens, who's caring, somebody who's hardworking, somebody who shows up, basically your attitude. And I'm not trying to see if I can send you something on attitude. I have a interview questions. If you want to go to my website and download them, let me put this in the chat. There's something on there. You can click on it that says 5 tips for interview, and you can download that. I'm going to put my website in the chat for all of you to go in. And if you go to my website, there's interview tips. It addresses 5 questions, how you should answer them, what you should be thinking of when you answer them. I think about 50K. I don't know what that means, smoothie cake. So let's see, am I still sharing my screen? I guess so. Yeah, so if you go to my website, I want you to take a minute on my website. Take a minute right now. I'm going to stop answering questions for just 1 minute. And you go to my website and tell me what you enjoyed most about today's session. Also, very important, tell me what I could improve on, because I really don't have a boss. And so you guys are the only ones that can tell me how to improve. So if you tell me, look, you could have expanded more on this, or maybe I didn't like this. Like I had somebody tell me one time, look, I didn't like the way that your internet didn't work. And I fixed it. Now my internet works and we can connect. So tell me, give me feedback on things that I could improve, but also tell me what you liked, because I like to hear from you and I like to hear what you enjoyed. And then on the same website on the front page, you can download 5 tips to ace your interview, which just gives you 5 questions that you can answer, 5 common questions that interviewers ask, and how you should think about answering them, and what kind of answers you should think about when you answer them. Now, I did say, if you want to contact us, somebody asked, what is Financial Leadership Club of America? Great question. I don't remember who it was. So Financial Leadership Club of America is a company I started to help students navigate their finances. So basically, our job is we partner with schools, with parents too, and individuals, but we partner with schools and colleges to help train students to learn personal finance. So we talk about budgeting, investing, saving, how credit works, basically anything that has to do with your personal finance. We want you to succeed when it comes to your personal finance. That's why we created that. And so that's my baby, my 3rd baby. And I love what I do. I speak because of that. And I love helping students understand how personal finance works, so they don't make the same mistakes that I made growing up. And that's what Financial Leadership Club of America is. Feel free to email me. My email is ayisat@abilogun.com. That's my first name at my last name.com. And I love to hear from you. If you want to hear more, talk to your teachers. Tell them to invite me to your class so we can dig deeper into some of these topics. And for some of you, you may already be enrolled in the financial training that we're doing right now with NAF at DISD. So ask your teachers about that. How can you sign up? Ask them. They'll be happy to give you answers to that. And I said I had a gift certificate. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to download something into the chat. It's a gift certificate. And tell you a little bit about it. Last summer, Financial Leadership Club had a conference where we talk about everything that's, again, personal finance and leadership. And so we had students from about 7 cities and 3 countries show up. They had a great time. It's 2 hours a day in the summer. It's online. You get to meet students from other schools. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. You get to meet students from other schools. And because you are here, each one of you gets a free registration to this conference. Does that sound exciting to anyone? I'm just gonna stop it by myself for a second, okay? Y'all are not making noise. Come on, it's time for you to unmute yourself. Go ahead and unmute. Let's see, how do we do this? Yes, so if that sounds exciting to you, just give me a shout out for a second. This is probably the only session where you're going to be able to make noise, so go ahead and do it. Does that sound exciting? Yay! Woohoo! Zoe, love that. I know, Luca, yes.
I said, woo-hoo, that was one of y'all.
Yes. Yeah. I want to see every one of you at that conference and bring a friend. So you get a free certificate. It's downloaded and I'll send it to Mr. Usterman as well. So for those of you who can, you're sharing computer or you can't download it, let me share. Let me show you what it looks like. So where is it? Okay, and I'm going to share my screen real quick. Wait, Zoom. Okay, so for that, you guys, I am technologically advanced. I'm just saying. Share screen. Maybe when I hire one of y'all, you can help me become better technologically savvy. But this is what I just shared with you. It's a gift certificate to, my other computer is telling me to stay muted. It's a gift certificate to our summer conference, and it's 4 days, 2 days each. We have exciting speakers. We always have a variety of speakers, just like you're attending a conference right now. And we speak on finance, on leadership, and other topics. And so it's a great way to meet other students from all over the country and, have an exciting experience and also learn some fun things. And you might even win something. I know last year we gave out 2 scholarships to 2 students and a few gifts, books to some other students and some gift cards to a few students. So you might get to win something. I can't make any promises, but for being here, you get this. It's $125 to come. So thanks to your teachers, thanks to NAF, thanks to all the people that made this possible, you get to come for free. So I want to see you there. Bring a friend. And this is a certificate you can actually share. And, so bring a friend. All right. Any other questions? I think I'm at the top of my hour now.
So Ayisat, thank you so much. What a great presentation. You just exude incredible energy. Students, thank you for your questions today. You guys were doing a great job at just keeping the questions coming. So fantastic. Now, I know you are interested in who's going to win that $25 gift certificate. Yes. One thing before we get there, if you look at the chat, I just posted a link in there for a really short survey that we ask each one of you to do for today's session. So teachers, if you'll make sure that you get this copied down, and students, you can click on it right now. It's only like 3, 4, or 5 questions, so it's very fast to do. But I have been taking notes of everyone who's been asking questions. So I've got you entered in my spinning wheel. I'm going to share my screen.
Yay!
And let's find out who the winner is.
Woo, this is so exciting.
And it looks like it's Natalie. So Natalie, in order to claim that $25, what I need you to do is to put in the chat right now your full name, your school, your academy, your email address, and I need you to put your personal email, because since I'm outside the district, I can't email to Dallas ISD addresses. So if you've got a Gmail, an iCloud, one of those, please use that. But make sure you put it in the chat right now. Otherwise, I won't know who to get that to. So
please,
okay.
Natalie, put your information in the chat so you can get the reward, the $25 gift card. I almost want to go
And I see from Miss Whipple that she is her student, and she's at South Oak Cliff, AOIT. So
congratulations.
Great job. It shows it pays to ask questions.
It does. Thank you all for being here. It's been so exciting to share my experience with you and to be with you today. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow when we talk about when we have the financial literacy session. So see you tomorrow. Have fun and ace that interview.
Thank you so much, Ayisat, and thank you for providing the gift cards today and the certificates. We really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. All right, bye everyone.
Bye, y'all.